My manager told me I wasn't smart enough to work there, so I quit on the spot. 3 months later, they were begging me to come back. I worked at a tech startup in marketing, and my manager was the CEO's daughter, Alexandra. She was 28 and constantly reminded everyone that I went to a state school while she went to Stanford. Every single meeting, she'd find a way to mention it. Oh, you wouldn't understand this strategy. They didn't teach it at state schools. Or, I learned this at Stanford, obviously. I'd been there for 2 years and kept my head down. I actually liked the work, and the clients seemed to respond well to my campaigns. But Alexandra rejected every single pitch I made without even reading them. I'd find my proposals in the trash with coffee stains on them, still sealed in their folders. Once I saw her use one as a coaster. The breaking point came on a Tuesday morning. Alexandra called me into her office. I walked in and she was scrolling through Instagram, didn't even look up. She said, "We're letting you go." I was shocked. I asked, "What do you mean?" She finally looked at me and said, "Your ideas just aren't at the level we need here. You're not a good fit." I asked if this was official, like did I need to talk to HR? She smirked and said, "My dad will back whatever I decide. He always does." She went back to her phone. I stood there for a minute trying to process it. Then I asked, "Can I at least get my severance?" She rolled her eyes and said, "You weren't technically fired. You can resign or I can fire you. Either way, you're done here." I cleaned out my desk that same day. Some of my coworkers looked surprised, but nobody said anything. Alexandra had made it clear that being friendly with me wasn't good for anyone's career. I grabbed my box of stuff and left. Here's what Alexandra didn't know. I had been documenting everything. Every rejected proposal, every condescending comment, every time she used my work as scratch paper. I wasn't planning to do anything with it. I just needed proof I wasn't crazy. 2 weeks later, I interviewed at their main competitor. I was honest about why I left and showed them my portfolio. The hiring manager's eyes went wide. These campaigns are exactly what we've been trying to develop. He offered me the job on the spot for $40,000 more than I was making. They actually read my proposals, and within a month, 3 of my pitches were approved and in production. About 2 months into my new job, I started getting calls from an unknown number. I ignored it. Then the texts started. "Please call us back. We need to talk." It was my old CEO. I deleted them. Then one Thursday morning, my assistant told me I had visitors waiting in the conference room. I walked in, and there was my old CEO and Alexandra sitting there. The CEO looked exhausted. Alexandra was staring at her phone like always. The CEO stood up and said, "Thank you for seeing us. We made a terrible mistake. We need you back." I crossed my arms and said, "What changed?" He looked at Alexandra, then back at me. "Our clients are leaving, specifically the 3 accounts you used to handle. They're requesting the campaign style you used to pitch, but we can't replicate it." I almost laughed. "Those campaigns Alexandra rejected without reading? I'm running variations of them here now. They're landing us 6-figure contracts." Alexandra's face turned bright red. The CEO kept going. "We're prepared to offer you double your original salary, full benefits, and a senior position. You'd report directly to me, not Alexandra." I could see Alexandra squirming in her seat. I looked directly at her and said, "Remember when you said my ideas weren't at the level you needed?" She wouldn't make eye contact. I continued, "You threw away every proposal I made. You used them as coasters. You told me I wasn't smart enough because I didn't go to an Ivy League school." Alexandra finally spoke up, her voice shaky. "Maybe I was too harsh. I didn't realize." She trailed off. I cut her off. "You didn't realize because you never actually looked at my work. You judged me based on where I went to college, and now you're here because your clients want exactly what I was trying to give you 2 years ago." The CEO tried to save it. "Look, we all make mistakes. Alexandra's learned from this." I shook my head. "You had someone talented, someone who understood your clients, and you let your daughter's ego completely waste it. I'm not interested in coming back." Alexandra's face was red, and I could see her hands shaking. She said quietly, "I'm sorry." I looked at her for a long moment, then said, "You know what? Maybe you should have actually read the proposals before throwing them away." They left about 5 minutes later. Didn't say much else, just walked out. I went back to my desk, and my boss came by. He'd been listening from his office. He said, "That took guts." I said, "It felt good." Last week, I heard through the industry grapevine that Alexandra got demoted to a junior role. Their biggest client, the one that specifically requested my campaign style, signed with us instead. Brought in $400,000 in the first quarter.